Okay, hello, good afternoon, happy Saturday. Let's see who is here. Frank the Third, hello. ODM, Oatster, how's it going? Hello friends, how are you all doing? Happy weekend. Okay, so I guess today is going to be my last build stream until after I move. But today should be a fun build. We're gonna be doing the Keycult 1800, which is currently on pre-order through Novel Keys. Let's see here. Oh, I forgot to write this. 실례합니다. 혼자 사시나요? Excuse me. Do you live alone? Hello. Hello, Seattle man. How's it going, Mason? How are you? All right. Let's get started here. Okay, so today we're building a Keycult 1800. And I'm gonna be using these TypePlus steps. And I put it in this case, but technically it just came in the box because it's a proto. This carrying case is not going to be included in the actual pre-order. I think they come separately packed because they're doing similar things like the configurator they did for the Keycult 0 release, where they had bottom pieces, mid pieces, top pieces, and everything else basically packaged separately. So for those who are using configurator plus like any extra parts, you basically can get everything all separate. So again, this carrying case is not part of the package. I prepped some Vintage MX Blacks, these Wise Vintage MX Black switches. These are 62 gram and TriboSys 3204 lubed. We have 2 plates. We have a aluminum full plate. And we also have a polycarb plate, which has no flex cuts for the relief here on the tabs for the gasket mount. And so we can pick whichever we want to choose today. Just do one of them. We have a hot swap PCB from what it looks like. Let's take a look. So the PCB is designed by Mr. Yankar, I believe. So there it is with our daughter board and cable over here. So hot swap socket wise, we have compatibility for full and split backspace. Then we have stepped and regular caps lock. And then we have 625U and 7U basically. So you get 1.25s or 1.5s for the left side of the spacebar. For the right side, you can actually do 111 or 1.5, 1.5. That's kind of up to you. And then you have ANSI for the shifts and split, or rather short shift rather. And then for the numpad, you get the choice of splitting the enter and the plus key. If you want to go with like very traditional 1800 layout, you would just do split the plus key and then do minus plus and put something here, like you could map it to whatever you want, and then a full enter key, rather enter key, return key. And then there's 0 and the daughter down here, which are all one use. And then you have the arrow cluster. No LEDs compatibility wise, I don't see any LED support. So if you have wanted indicators, there's no indicators in the hot swap PCB, just FYI. And that's basically the PCB. Gotta go 625 with the 1.5s on the right. I have to say, I have a very strong bias on what I want on this. I personally consider the best 1800 layout to be the traditional one, which is the 7U with 1.5s bilaterally. It basically makes it so that you get two 1.5s on both sides, on each side rather, which is pretty nice. I personally don't really need to have a separate win key, like a third key on the left side, so personally I think I'll go 7U, but you know, it's a personal choice. I did used to build with 625 a long time ago, but I realized that I just prefer the 7U one at the end of the day. Alright, so we have one of the mid pieces here. Obviously this one is just packed in this kind of like foam, but obviously in your actual package, if you decide to pre-order this, obviously it'll be nicely packaged and everything. This is a proto after all. And so for the first mid piece, oh, it looks like they already installed the gaskets. I didn't know. But we have a teal mid piece, nice, very nice teal colored. Yes, this is still gasket mount, similar to all of the Keycult releases, really, except for the 0, I guess. So yes, it is gasket mount, the same way as they have always been. This is a very nice teal color for the mid slash weight. Very nice. Okay, and then take this out of the way, and then we have some gaskets over here, and this is the navy and brass board. So let me take this out of the way here. So here we got our navy and brass. So let me kind of get it up close to the cam here. So there's our navy and brass. Very heavy. I can weigh it later, but it's extremely heavy. It's very, very hefty. There's our side profile. Very similar to all the other releases, especially like the TKL number 1 revision 2. We have black bump-ons already placed on this board in particular. We have these hex screws around. There's 9 of them at the bottom. Is that origami on the top? Yes, it's the origami TKL. It is the origami TKL, yeah. And you can see the mid piece kind of goes all the way around, and obviously through the bottom of the board. So yeah, very nice and hefty. Tolerances look pretty good. Brass looks pretty nice. No weird marks or anything. Very nicely machined and everything. It looks like I am missing gaskets on these 2 pieces, so we'll have to place on those. And then if you wanted to see it with the teal combo, you can kind of imagine the brass, the navy and the teal kind of look like that. Very different shades, but you know, they'll look like that. And so we can do the build and then swap the mid pieces and try them with both, basically to compare 1-to-1 what that's like. So we got a teal mid piece and then the brass mid piece for the build. Alright, so I guess first things first, I do want to just check that the PCB detects. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, seems to work. I don't know if it's... Oh, it is already on VIA. Oh, that's nice. Okay, it's already on VIA, so that's cool. If If you wanted to see the client here, you can see. So Keycult 1800. I can go to layouts and I can specify bottom rows. You know, you can do whatever layers. You know, you can put whatever keys you want. Actually, here I'll put MO1. Then right alt, left win, left alt, left control is fine. And then maybe I'll also split the num plus, because why not? And then for this, I can just do like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I'll split it. Why not? Because kind of fun. Oh man, page up, page down. That's fine. It's okay. All right, and. Alright, cool. So I think it's working. I can test a few of the positions, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, cool. So I think it's working fine. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Alright. Okay, so PCB is good. Rudy, if you have it, I do. I think I have both the Dark Horse version as well as the regular version. Which is the yeah, you know which one. Alright, so let's go ahead and prep some stabs. So I have the TypePlus YIKB ones. I think these come with five pairs. So I think that works. If I split this, so I think it's shift, spacebar, enter, backspace. So that's 4, and then 5 for the enter and the numpad, and then that should be fine. Okay, cool. So I guess for this, I guess I would recommend just doing it one by one because they are site specific. So I'll grab the left side and then lube it, and then grab the right side, lube it, and so on. Get my 205 here. Oh, I haven't really picked what plate I'll use yet, but we can wait and pick in a bit if you want. I don't mind. Goodbye. Thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Okay, I'm kind of bored of this music. What should we listen to? You know, lately I've been on a... I kind of feel like listening to that one album by Glass Animals. Always fun. Alright folks, I hope you guys have been doing well, staying cool from the heat if it's hot out there for you. I know that this past weekend was I think it was the GMK meetup, right? The keyboard meetup, but at the GMK headquarters. So for those who attended, I hope y'all had fun. Don't know if I said thanks yet, but I used your build guide for the satellite with the EC kit, and it's my new favorite keyboard. Oh yay! I'm happy to hear that. I'm always happy to hear when stuff that I put out there is like useful, you know, like helpful. Rather, it's always good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you like it too. It was only my second board that I built, so I was sweating a bit, especially about the EC stuff, a bit scary to me. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that the build guy was there then to kind of guide you along the way. Was it everything clear? Like, did you like ever feel like you had questions regarding some parts, or like doubts, like instruction wise? Because that's one thing about writing the stuff out instead of like just showing, where like it gets kind of complicated to explain some things, or like to depict them like relatively accurately. It's always a bit of a challenge. So I'm curious. I'm always curious to hear like feedback and like stuff like that. I think people have said it's okay. It was fine, but it always helps to just double check. Everything was perfect. I was just a bit dumb about the stabs. I did not know that they actually snap in place, and I was scared of pushing them in. Oh, otherwise I had no problems. Okay, good. Good. That's great to hear. But yeah, I mean, if it's not like, you know, if you don't build keyboards often, the stabs thing can definitely be confusing. So I'm glad it was clear enough. I actually had none of the precision screwdrivers you have, so I used the bigger one. It's just gentle and very slow. Very gentle and slow. I think screwing of the 26 or so standoffs took 2 hours or so. Yeah, precision screwdrivers are, yeah, it's kind of niche to have some of these tools, especially for like smaller things like electronics and whatnot. It's not like most people have regular toolkits, which usually will have bigger hex keys, Phillips, obviously, plus and minus, and then like random stuff that nobody ever really uses. I actually kind of feel like toolkits should have more like a better kind of like better allocated form of variety, but a lot of them don't. So it's with the smaller stuff, it's like you have to buy separate tools to use, or you can, you know, there's like people who just buy like one of those like Allen key sets, like the ones that sort of come in a bundle. They're like the L-shaped ones. Those are usually good enough as well to have around if you don't want to keep anything that's like too specialized and more expensive. Well, ultimately I'm glad it worked out. Is that keyboard your own, or are you building for someone else? So the keyboard, this one I'm building, the Keycult 1800. So I typically review / showcase a lot of builds. So this one is basically for showcase purposes. This one that I have here was also one of the showcase ones, but I did get to keep it. So yeah. It depends. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they go. A lot of the time they go. Hi. Gotta keep a set of hex wrenches around. It feels like everything comes with a hex screw these days. Yeah. Well, so, I mean, you do know the advantage between like using hex screws versus like Phillips, right? Like a lot of the times also like Phillips tends to strip quite easily because of the sharper edges. That said, I mean, hex screws do also strip, but I think it's, if you have the right right key for the right screw, then usually it doesn't strip that easily unless you're being forceful. Smaller screws obviously more likely than not, but yeah. But yeah, it's for keyboards at least. I would recommend, I think the toolkit that I recommend the most for keyboards, like I have the ones I have which are separate screwdrivers, but like a nice all-in-one set I think is the Geon one. The Geon Nanch kit is probably the best bang for the buck for a toolkit. DiviniKey has it if you're in the US, and GeonWorks has it if you're in like Asia. But I recommend that one the most because it's just it just has everything all in one. It's super convenient. It's easy to use. Kinetic Labs has a decent set as well. Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice. Frank III, finally found a bias. R2 got to chill out for the rest of the year now. Yeah, you've been going at it for a bit, right? Like, the past few months at least. I mean, at least, I mean, as long as you're enjoying yourself and it's not a big financial burden, it's honestly fine. Origami is nice. That's a very nice blue color. Yeah, both of these blues are pretty nice. I mean, they have their own kind of, I mean, they're like their own little type of blue, and they're both very nice colors. So, yeah. Nice kind of like royal, you know, hydro blue. Some people might call it. And then this one, nice navy. Okay. Yeah, I went pretty heavy this year, way more than when I even joined the hobby. Maybe it's because you now had very specific goals. I feel like when you are, I guess, locked in, as the kids these days say, it's a lot easier to just like jump on stuff, right? Like, because you know exactly what you're looking for. So it's like all you're doing now at that point is like refreshing a page to see it pop up, and then you purchase it, right? So I think that's the difference when you have set goals, right? That said, you know, it can be difficult too, depending on what kind of goals they are. Also, Rob, hello. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you for this 37. Welcome back, and how are you, my friend? Oh, I like this song. There have been so many good boards this year, so that's kind of understandable. There have been a lot of very good boards. I mean, every year there's always more, right? But yeah, this year has had a pretty stacked set of of boards, like between revisions of boards that were out before to like new stuff that's kind of beating everything else out of the water in the market, like whether it's like because of the layout or cost. And then yeah, like a lot of exciting releases for sure. Big Macs and Onions, hello. Howdy, howdy. Doing good, just enjoying a lazy day off. Ah, nice. You've been busy these days? Just like work? Swamped? Especially like in the heat and stuff, it's tough. Hope you're doing well. This year has gone hard so far? Yeah. Long time no see, keyboard man. Oh, hello, Nacho. How you doing, buddy? I've not been paying attention to releases this year aside from the 1800, but any nice 60s suggestions? 60s, I mean, what do you guys would suggest? I mean, there's like, I mean, I guess recent releases, that Parabolica 60 was pretty nice. The Lily, obviously, if you missed that or if you didn't see it, the Lily is a banger in my opinion. This was last year, I think, but the Derivative, I think, is still a very nice board. Boomerang is technically a 60. Yeah, Boomerang is technically a 60. Also, that was a loud sneeze. That sneeze over here. Yeah, you know the dad sneeze. Achoo! That's what I heard. To be honest, I'm guilty of it too sometimes. So, but yeah, the no inhibition sneeze. Achoo! Super loud. Yeah, Boomerang is technically 60, yes. Oblique should be coming soon, TM. There have been a ton of nice 60s lately, yeah. The Parabolica has been a personal favorite this year so far. Yeah, that one's very pretty. Very nice looking. I really think they did a really great job of both the design and like looks-wise, and also just like in terms of like how it performed. Like I checked it out and it was pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, I mean, lots of good boards. I guess, was it Neo 60 technically this year? Neo 60, Neo 60 Core were, I think, this year too. Those were good. Or maybe that was end of last year, but I'm not 100% sure sometimes. Always forget when some of these releases happen. It's much better to let a sneeze flow. You can seriously hurt yourself trying to hold them in. Hey, that's real. That's true. The jerking from that is like, ooh, like yeah, that can throw your muscles to a fit. It's bad. It's gotta let them go. Oh, let me know if the music is too loud or anything like that, okay? Just feeling it. F260 Blue Ridge. I heard the Blue Ridge sold out like super fast. That's kind of not heard of that often in 2025. I think the Blue Ridge sold out in like an hour or two. Yeah, I was genuinely surprised to hear that. Like it was, I think it's in stock, right? So it like ships soon. But yeah, like it was, and promotion for it, like, you know, I think Alex did an MX build a while back, and I did the EC build, and I think Alex did a build just last minute, right before the release happened. And yeah, apparently it sold like completely. Very surprised. Because, I mean, I think a lot of people are, not, you know, more reluctant to buy a board sometimes, and so it's nice to hear, though. It's a good sign for the hobby, at least. Do you get one? No, I did not. I got to try it, so I'm very thankful for it. But I'm currently not looking to picking up new boards much, so I've been kind of self-banning myself from making board purchases these days. But I think at a different time I might have probably been very, very much tempted to get one, because it was really nice. The Frog TKL is the only tappable board I got. It's a nice mounting style. Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty good. Yeah. I think the only thing that the Frog TKL had that wasn't going too well for it was those like long Geon feet that kind of like boom up your desk, because it like just makes so much contact with the desk surface. I think put on some regular bump ons on that, like slightly taller ones, and I think it's good to go. Good for Clever, though. He was doing decent promo IMO. Yeah. I mean, well, he has also been bringing it to meetups. I think that's a big thing, though. Meetups can leave a very good impression if the product is right, and also like if it's kind of unique. Meetups are a great way to be like, oh, like guess what I saw at the meetup? I saw this like new EC thing, and like that's what, you know, like new tech thing, right? And that's what Clever is basically offering, right? And so I think they had the advantage of that. But yeah, he's been bringing it to meetups, and it's been leaving good impressions on people, and so I think that excitement, along with obviously some of the promo material, is definitely working. Those EC parts gonna bring EC back on the map. I mean, it's been on the map for a bit, but I think the biggest thing about these new Dynacap EC parts is that they're gonna be pretty cheap. So the competition's gonna be pretty fierce, and like, I mean, like, well, it's kind of blowing the competition out of the water, really. Because I think like Desk Keys is basically considered the sort of like best-ish aftermarket, like non-OEM, right? And these guys are very close to OEM stuff, and also planning on doing more, and they're also working with like lower costs, and so it's gonna blow that competition out of the water. I mean, it's very good for them, but overall very good for enthusiasts who are interested in the EC stuff. I think that's the best part, really. It's the winners here are the customers who are looking to get into it. The designs are pretty refreshing too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's good to. It's always good. I'm very happy for them. We're lucky to have people like Clever in the hobby. Yeah, for sure. I do appreciate the openness with which he conducts his designs and releases, and sort of like very community minded, in terms of like kind of wanting to make a thing accessible, or designing a complex thing out of like a not just a self desire to do it, but also like people sort of like looking for a solution to an existing problem. I think that, you know, he really is like tackling down more than just bringing a like an iterative design. He's really solving a problem, right? Like the interference thing, or like improving that MX EC hybrid experience. It's very nice, very refreshing for sure. It's always good. Okay, I think the stabs are done. Alright, hopefully. Okay, I need you guys to help me pick a plate. So we have MX Blacks, and we have 2 plates. We have aluminum and PC. I don't know what Alex built his with. I think he built with granite switches, the Alex Oto's granite switches that Naoki's has been teasing lately with the TypePlus made switches. But yeah, I can do a poll, and I will say what plate, Alu, PC, right? With MX Blocks. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. No questions, no polls. No, poll is fine. I want to let people figure that out themselves. And I know some people are just lurking. So I want to acknowledge that there's people who do come watch and they're just lurking, but you know they don't feel as, I guess, eager to chat around. All 1U numpad. You can do all 1U numpad if you want. I am doing split plus key, but full enter. Oh wow, the Alu votes are overwhelming. Okay. All right. I think that's a pretty clear yes for Alu. All right. MX Blacks on Alu then. All right. Classic. That lip design on the Blue Ridge is so nice. Oh yeah, the sort of like wrist holding sort of design. It's very nice. All right, so no PC and Alu today. It's looking very clear. No stabilized R shift. Yes, that's correct. I thought you didn't have enough stabs. Oh yeah, I counted. So I actually had this pack of YIKB stabs, right? And I was like, oh right, they only come with 5. And I was like, I think it's okay to split the plus key because like regular 1800 does that technically. So I was like, I think it'll be fine. Sorry, I'm like playing this whole album, but it's a good album, okay? Gonna be the classic, yes. No PC lurkers, indeed. MX Blacks and aluminum never lost? Yeah, truly, huh? What screws are these? Are these Phillips or are these... There's Phillips, right? The small ones. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. I think I need the smaller screwdriver. This one. Okay. What the? I feel some resistance here. Okay. Maybe it's just not fully clipped in. Yeah. Wow, these screws are not magnetized? That's so annoying. Or maybe my screwdriver is not magnetized enough. It's been a minute since I remagnetized them. the screw. Okay, we'll do 7U bottom row. Okay, I got one screw on each of the stabs now, so I can just flip it around and do the rest. Oh, come on. Oh, that doesn't look fully clipped. There we go. Okay. Oh, this album's a banger. Okay. Okay. All right, alu plate, and swipe a little bit of that grease. All right, MX blacks on aluminum. Waiting on my plates from Tom has been pain. Who's Tom? Sorry. Hype keyboards. Oh, I see. I see. What kind of plates are you getting? Any thoughts on PP versus Ultem? Oh, I have no idea. Reason being that I haven't tried Ultem much. So I have a very limited like experience with it, so I can't really comment about it. I like polypropylene already though. Like I like PP plates in general. Like I think like tactiles or actually linears too. PP plates in general sound pretty nice. I can't really comment on Ultem at all though. Not something within, I guess, within the realm of experience for me. Not much anyway. I think I've tried like once. Got a China exclusive bias DE from Mech Market or an order 2 plates. Ah, I see. Fully closed, maybe? Yeah, okay. What's in the origami? I have MX Browns on that. Exclamation keyboard actually usually when I for the build command for the board that I'm using at the time. Also I should rewrite this one with the alu plate, right? Edit command. There we go. Okay. Oh, the song has come out. It's towards the end of the album. It's like it's late June now, but it's still June. I've been looking for 32.4 and haven't had any luck. Oh, really? Oh, I guess with Switch Mod not really doing any work anymore, and with vendors mostly just stocking 205, I guess TriboSys is kind of hard to find. Is that how it is now? Sounds good. A little clackier than what I usually perceive from browns. Yeah. It pairs nicely with the polycarb plate. Polycarb plate kind of brings out the sound a little bit more on the brighter end, in my opinion. So if you don't like, for example, the way they sound with polypropylene, like PP, you can try like PC for a little bit of a bright sound signature. That's how it usually goes with a lot of the cherry switches, I think. Kind of, if you want a brighter sound, polycarbonate is kind of pretty nice for it. Alright, let's try these stabs now. 3203 is pretty common, but 3204 is tough. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. That's strange. Really? I see. These caps are starting to feel loose, so they feel like they're like ticking, but sometimes they're not. Yeah, like they're not really ticking. That's a nice spacebar though. Ringer Keys has 3204 in stock. Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. Ringer Keys does have a lot of different lubricants. Alright, I need a numpad key somewhere. I think I might have a numpad key in this box here. Let me see. Numpad. Okay, sounds good. I just found some on R&D KBD as well. I guess I just needed to look harder. Nice. Good job. But good. I mean, if it's available, that's good. Oops. Just needed to look harder. Back piece here. Try this one last time. That sounds pretty good. Okay, this key's kind of getting old, I guess. All right. Let's go ahead and put the rest of the switches in, and I think we should be good to go. Pretty quick build. It's hot swap. It's easy. You know, was it Uvish or was it somebody else who in the novelty server was like, no cherry MX blacks or something like that? It's like, and I was and it was like people were like, oh, but Malong poles. It was me, yeah. I was like, I'll build it with MX blacks if you want. I don't mind. Not like I usually don't build with MX blacks. Yeah. That said, I mean, I think this one, only Alex and I are covering it, so if he built it with something else, it's always try to like put variety. Like if other people have done a lot of long pulls, and I'll try to do like full travel. Or like if other people have done cherry, then I try to avoid cherry. Like I'll do like Gateron, Duroc, you know, tactiles, whatever it is. Sometimes long pulls. But yeah, because I realize as a consumer, you just want to kind of see how it does in every way. That said, I mean, myself, I do tend to build with, I think I tend to just build with cherry or Gateron usually for myself. I definitely have a lot of both. I do have some like JWK Duroc too though. Like I think some of my boards still have JWK Durocs, and I do enjoy them a lot. So, or like creams, like Nolifs, creams, that kind of stuff too. Also in certain configuration, they sound so good. Not a huge fan of long pull just because of the travel reduction, but I do like how they sound. Like I think on the, you know, the Keycult 265, that one actually sounds really good with long pulls, in my opinion. Like there's certain like, I think gasket mount boards, I would say, that sound really good with long pulls. So for those, I'm pretty open to using long pulls because they just sound so nice. But there's some builds, I don't know what boards specifically, but there's some boards that kind of sound really loud with long pulls. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to use this for like a full day kind of thing. Like that's the kind of like impression I get. What the? Why is this not? There we go. Felt like I haven't heard cherry with a Keycult with cherry for a while. That's fair. Who's this? Mango Keebs. Hello, Mango Keebs. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Mango removes my keys if I don't raid. I'm going on a linear journey. Bought some L'Orange MX2A blacks and Meteor whites. Oh, I haven't heard Meteor whites in a bit. I don't think I have any SP Star stuff these days. Among my, I think I might have one board with SP Star stuff. It's been a minute though. Oops. Bent the pin for sure. Switch it for now. That's been my experience. Some boards just sound better with full travel switches. Yeah. Then some can rock with either. Yeah, I do think gasket mount tends to be a little bit more flexible because it sort of like makes the overall sound a little bit more even, more uniform. And I do feel like long pull switches tend to get a little bit more tempered with those. And so they sound pretty nice. But for like some of the stiffer mount boards, or even like some of the complete opposite, like the really flexy ones like plateless or that kind of stuff, I don't really love some like long pull, because they get accentuated a little bit too much, which is not my personal preference. But yes, most releases for switches are typically long pull because they have such an accentuated sound. I think that's what kind of separates them from the rest, and what, like, it's favorable, at least from a, I guess even from a marketing perspective, in the sense that like if you record a sound test and you put it out there, it's a lot more noticeable, and like, you know. But at the same time, there's also been like a lot of favor for them, right? Like people just genuinely like them, and so there's that. So yeah, full travel is definitely boring, and more boring at least, and a little bit less likable in certain conditions. L'Orange and Vertex V-Ons are pretty good, not gonna lie, aside from Cherry. Yeah, those are pretty good. You know those HMX Game 1989 switches? I think those are nice too. The like full travel-ish ones. Or as I said, like kale cream type of switch, where you do get like the bottoming out sound, but you still get a full travel feeling. That's pretty good too, I think. I like that kind of stuff as well. So, yeah, I mean, I generally try to be open though to try new things out. Oh, the album ended. You know what I want to listen to now? Let's look for some. Oh, man. Some Daft Punk. Oh yeah. Do I need to stock up on Cherry MX-1A Hyperglide since they stopped producing them? It's kind of up to you. I like MX-2A enough that I don't feel strongly about having the different ones. But, I mean, some people feel like they like the previous ones more. I personally don't really mind. I personally don't care, but... I have a coworker who is a more avid listener, like in terms of listening to just albums fully, and I kind of got into that, and it's been fun. It's so enjoyable to listen to full albums from beginning to end, no shuffle, just like all the way through, because it kind of gives you an idea of what a lot of these people, like artists, are thinking of when they're like producing the album, right? Like they think of the sequence too, right? What song comes first, what song comes after, how like it feels, what kind of story they're trying to tell. It's been real fun. For a while, I tend to just like pick and choose like music and put it into a playlist, and like play shuffle on that playlist and that kind of stuff. But when you listen to like full albums, it kind of feels a little bit more intentional too. It's fun. It's fun. But I've been doing a little bit more of that. That coworker kind of got me into that again. So, all right. So it's done. Let's should we start with the brass and then we can go to the alu? So let's do that. Oh man, it's so heavy. Oh god, this mid piece is like so heavy. Let's get those screws first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing one screw somewhere. Here. Oh, it fell over there. Just grab that before I lose it. Okay. Alright, now let's start with, I guess, gaskets. So it looks like I have these sheets. So long ones, short ones, medium-sized ones, I guess. Yeah, okay. So let's start with this side. I wish we could get more 1800s with 2U0 on the numpad. Certainly possible, but effectively at the point where you do that, you would end up with a longer board, right? Because you need to. It's a positioning of that arrow cluster that makes it awkward with 1800s. So I feel like at that point you're essentially going towards a full size. Because of the separation thing. Yeah. Like a just traditional full-size board. Alright. Gaskets. And that is fine with me? Yeah. Well, you know what? There's been lots of good full-size releases though, right? Like there's been that Seal 100. There's been the like the Seal full-size. There's been that Intro S 100. There was that Bina 103, I think, for a bit. There's been good full-size releases though. Pangea, right? Yeah. I've enjoyed seeing that too. Like a little bit of like a full size focus for stuff as well. It's been fun. QK 101, yeah, QK 101 as well, yeah. Was that this year? I mean, this year, last year, you know, recent enough. Recent enough. Past year or two type of thing. Neo 100 would be Pog though. And Neo does good stuff. But yeah, I've seen definitely a more interest in, you know, people making full size or numpad inclusive equivalents. Like there is a board that I'm going to be showcasing like in July, like once I move. That one I think was, what's the Win Studio Xless, like it's like the Alice but with a numpad basically. It was like the Alice with a numpad and a nav cluster, I think, or maybe it was just a numpad, I forget, but it was basically very big. But there's like boards like that now too, which, you know, to be honest, like for, you know, a good number of years in the hobby, that was not just very feasible because, you know, you need to hit those MOQ and whatever. But with some of these like Chinese companies that just produce them anyway and can sell them like in stock or whatever, right? Can like fork out the capital or just have the ability to do so. It's been good to see. Like they're more eager about making those releases possible, so it's been nice. QK's really working overtime. They also announced a new HE board. I guess HE is the sort of current rage, right? So I could see that. Such a good time to be in the hobby. Oh yeah, if you're a new consumer in the hobby, there are so many good options now. It's so hard not to Like, it's so hard to go wrong, and it's so many good things out there. Yeah. Pretty jealous. I mean, I was saying, I was talking to like people in my Discord server last night, and I was like, if I could, I've done the keyboard and switches and artisan thing for like a long time now, and if I could kind of go back and turn back the clock, turn the clock back and redo things, I would certainly be it would be a much simpler time, because the options are so more like clear cut and they're available, right? You don't need to experiment as much, and you find what you like and you kind of stick to it, and that's pretty good still. And so, yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time to be in the hobby. That said, I don't really regret my journey either. It's been a fun journey exploring things and trying things out and collecting and all that. I don't think I would have really gone that much far off from like wanting to collect stuff, because I do like, in general, like collecting and like trying things out. But yeah, options now are like super abundant. Very abundant, very easy to get, so it's good. They said this year they're focusing more on pushing HE projects. That makes sense. It's sort of like what a lot of the industry is going to. No, Georgia. Alright. Okay. So, right. We do still need to open up the bottom. So take out the mid piece, because the daughter board needs to go there. I was really close to entering the hobby back in 2017. That's close to the time I entered. I entered in late 2016. It wasn't the easiest to get in. Now it's real easy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's incomparably easy. Like, it's crazy. Got a huge collection as it stands, and some of these so-called budget boards tempt me big time. Oh yeah. I mean, they say quote-unquote budget boards, but frankly, like, yeah, no, it's I can't even say like budget board is bad at all. Like, there's no like, I don't like that distinction, in the sense that it is technically true that it's budget, cheaper, more inexpensive, affordable, but like the quality is like so much higher now. It's so high. Yeah, no. One thing I do notice right now as I'm unscrewing this mid piece is they did a really nice job of kind of getting it, like, so let me show you. But they put these little taps on the side, very small, to basically, I think they serve as anno hooks or, something similar. But, you see that right here? That's definitely not a, it's not being used for alignment or anything. That's the alignment pin, but they're using that. It's on the other side too, and you can see a little micro scratch, I think, from the hook, probably. But they're using, like, it's on this side too. But it's nice. It's a nice little detail, design-wise, allowing that to happen, right? All right. Yeah, that's why I qualified budget when I said that. Yeah, no, for real. It's crazy. Okay. Alright, let's undo that. Oh my god, it's so heavy. Jesus. Okay, daughter board time. Oh, they're already here. Okay, good. I was like, do I have daughter board screws? But they're already installed. Chunky, very chunky. Okay, so let's see. So daughter board. I'm gonna scoot the. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to scoot some of the what is that? What do you call this? Heat shrink, I guess, a little bit. just so it doesn't get pinched by anything, but just enough. I want to leave a little bit of slack here just so that it can actually like bend over and like whatnot. But I also, you know, when you're working with very tiny spaces like this, I recommend you can just put the screws in first, or at least 2 of them if you want, but you can put all of them too, and that way you don't have to finagle a small screw in a very small enclosure. So you can just put the screw on, and then what you're gonna do with the screwdriver is you're gonna screw counterclockwise first to basically like make sure it fits in the right tap of that area, and then you're gonna screw clockwise to screw it all in. So insert, and then make sure the screws raise up, counterclockwise, clockwise, and then do it for the opposite corner, and then the other screws. Heat shrink, yeah, thank you. Alright, so now I want to just make sure that I have my full heat shrink length in the channel and enough of the cable out. Right? So kind of, if you want, you can use some tape here as well. It's actually not a bad idea to use some tape here to just make sure nothing gets pinched. In fact, I can just show it and do it. It's never a bad idea because you don't want these wires to get pinched, especially like ground or VCC. So I personally don't mind that. Putting a small piece of tape just in case. It's more so for protection purposes rather than for anything else. So I'll just cut a small piece of tape. This is a very thin Captain tape, just for insulation. And then I'm just gonna tape it down like that, just to make sure it stays there and nothing gets pinched. Alright, next. Bring my bottom piece and my mid piece together. So make sure that this goes in the channel. So line them up and boom. There it is. And now we can screw the mid piece to the bottom. We're gonna have to disassemble this again once I get to the teal one. I don't think the difference is gonna be huge, but there is some difference because there is a difference in density. Try to turn off that AC because it's a little loud, I think, in the background, right? It's a little hot today, so I turn it on. Okay, so there we have it, and where did I just put the assembly? It's over here. Okay, so let's put my assembly in. So cable is pretty taut, so just gotta make sure I orient it the right way. It's not very long cable, so actually I'm gonna just do it on here. It's a little hard to see, so just try to get enough support. Okay, I think I got it plugged in. Yep. And now plugged in the daughter board cable, and now we just place it on top. I press down just to make sure everything is in place, not really struggling in there, or not having enough of the give that it's intended to have with the relief cuts. Check my leaf springs here. And now close it up there's a decent amount of compression, I think, here for the gaskets. So let's make sure everything's lined up nicely. And now press down. We'll start with one of these screws here. Grab my screwdriver, compress, and make sure it catches. And it caught. Good. Now do the same with the opposite corner on the bottom. So again, bring them up close together, sandwich them, make sure the case pieces are nice and close together, and close it. If you want to fiddle with alignment, you can. And then do the same here, opposite corner. Okay. Now that a few screws have gone in, the rest is a piece of cake. Why opposite corner? So you're just trying to apply pressure evenly. You're kind of like getting the pressure started so that the gaskets are compressing nice and evenly. So you kind of compress one side, and then the opposite side, and then the opposite side, and then the opposite side. You're trying to get the gaskets nicely compressed evenly, so that by the end you kind of have a nice and even compression throughout the whole board. Alright, so that's basically it. Kind of like putting a tire in a car. Yes, exactly. People call it like the star shape. Alrighty. So there it is. I think was it Mason earlier asked for GMK Rudy, which I think is a nice set for this. Would you guys like to see Rudy on this? Let me get that. All right, GMK Rudy. Where? Okay, I'll go get GMK Rudy. I'll be right back. It's like right here, so go get it. Also, maybe wash my hands and BRB. BRB. Okay, I'm back. Alright. Let's try it out. I'll need some of these extras. Ooh, okay. We do have the choice of doing a few different ways of accents. I'll decide that in a bit, maybe. These leaf springs on the Alu actually kind of feel a little bit more flexy than I thought. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Alright, let's put the rest here. F7. Wow, this navy match is pretty good. Okay, maybe should I do accent arrows, or I mean I will do accent enters maybe. Maybe I'll do gold accent enter and here. Okay, should look nice. The more you put keycaps on it, the more I want the board. Oh boy. I don't mean to do it to enable anybody, but if you like it, then you like it, you know? $1,800 is one of those layouts that honestly can look so nice. It really is a nice layout. Especially if you're a regular numpad user, right? She knows how to dance. I don't even use a numpad, it just looks good, I guess. Fair. It just looks nice. It just really does. I don't really use a numpad much either these days. I used to do a lot more like you know, like numbers work, but I don't really do much data entry these days. At least not in the spreadsheet and numpad sort of sense. Buenas, ¿cómo estamos? Hola, Susu, ¿cómo estás? Maybe, let's see, home end, page up, page down. I think that'll work. I'll just do 2 artisans over there. Si todo sale bien, estoy bien cositas, si todo sale bien, croma 60. Oh, muy bien, muy bien. Hello, hola, Conin. ¿Cómo estamos? Alright. Let's put some artisanal keycaps. Let's do the gold looking one here. I have this very gold keycap here, and then for here maybe something blue, dark blue. Dark blue. Oh, not super dark, but let's see. Have anything darker? I'm not feeling that one. Oh, you know what? I'll do this one. That looks pretty good. Very matching. Alright. There it is. Look at that. Woo. Beautiful. Alright. Here from the side. Oops, sorry. There it is. Look at that. See, I'm telling you, I think the 7U looks really good on the 1800. I don't know, that's my opinion. I think it just looks nice. Alright, let's try typing on this, shall we? Probablemente esa es la persona de todo internet con mejor gusto para combinar keycaps. Muchas gracias, Alberto. I think the yellow is not the play. Oh, you mean the accents? It's okay. We're just doing this for fun, you know? Alright. Let me set the mic up. Okay. So there we have it. And then we do that. All right. Okay. Let's try this out. So we have aluminum on with MX blacks, and let's see over here. All right, MX blacks on alu. Right now we have the brass mid, MX blacks on alu. Okay, let's try it out. Is Keycult 1/1800. Okay, let's give it a shot now. All right, here we go. All right, there it is. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, the tried and true classic combo for real. But some folks asked for it, so why not? All right, sounds like a keyboard. It sure looks like one. Yes, I think so. Okay, so here are the mods. Alright, so there it is. So I personally think it's not too loud. It's not too soft in volume either. But I actually am a little bit more surprised about how it feels. I know that the current iteration of Keycult boards in general, the gasket mount, has evolved to be with a decent amount of compression between the top and bottom piece. But this particular build with the full alu plate and the relief cuts, right, the flex cuts, feels quite soft. It definitely has a good amount of soft feeling to it, to the gasket mount here, despite, you know, it's a high amount of compression, and, you know, the plate is really getting gripped there in between the two pieces. But like, maybe it's the size of the keyboard. There is a good amount of softness to the typing here. Yo, do you want to go to Death Becomes Her next Sunday? Yeah, sure. But yeah, it's it has a good amount of softness, especially towards the middle of the plate. You can also see some of the movement there. But this is an alu plate, so I could see this being definitely different with a polycarb plate. Maybe the lack of relief cuts would make a difference, but I mean also you're dealing with a polycarbonate plate, so a lot of softness there too. But maybe it's just a larger layout. It lends to a softer gasket mount that I'm used to, for example, from the TKLs. It's very nice. It's very nice. So pretty comfortable typing as far as that's concerned. But yeah, that's the Keycult 1800 with MX blacks on aluminum and the brass mid. So I can show off how it looks before we take it apart to look at the teal mid piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that off. So there is our brass mid. Also I need to weigh how much this weighs with the full brass mid as well. I know some fingerprint over there, but yeah, there it is. Brass mid, GMK Rudy. It's pretty heavy though. There is the brass mid showing up on the side and all the way to the back, but you know, pretty nice looking board. If you wanted to look at it from the top, that's what the board looks like. How do you think this sounds compared to other Keycults? I think it sounds kind of similar, like in terms of like to the TKL. If you were to build it the exactly the same way, it's not going to be that far off in terms of the way it sounds. But the larger layout could make some of a difference because it also means that the gasket positions are going to be different. In the TKL you have this larger cluster. Sort of like, rather like the separation between this part and this part is different. Like it's not separated by this much, and it's just a little bit laid out a little bit differently. And so, like for example, here you get like a thinner edge over here. So yeah, you'll have some differences, but in terms of like, they both sound still relatively similar. I don't have a number 1 revision 2 build with an MX Black build, but I know for sure that the gasket mount itself is not that far off from what it originally was. So if you're familiar with that sound, it's gonna be relatively similar. That said, I do imagine some of the layout differences will also create some changes in the sound. But it's still going to be somewhat of the familiar sound that you expect from the board. But very nice nonetheless. Honestly, if you're looking for an 1800 board, this is very nice. It's not cheap though with the brass mid. It does come out to be, if we take a look at, let's see, if we take a look at the configurator, right? Where is it? So if I take a look at the configurator, I'm gonna select exactly the same stuff here. So anode navy, and then the mid is brass, clear coated brass, and then let's say a solder PCB, aluminum plate, and the top is navy, necessary hardware. So that comes out to be $695 US, which is not cheap, okay? It's definitely a pricey keyboard. So it kind of depends on whether you do lean into the aesthetic and, wanting to pay that much for the board. But the brass mid it's nice and hefty for sure. It's a nice look. That said, it's like 3 times more expensive. So the mid itself. So yeah, we can swap it with the alu mid though and see how it goes. But for now, let me get the scale and we can weigh it and then we can switch it out. Okay. All right. Can't wait to do the Tifu build with this board. Oh, kale creams. That'll be fun, actually. Kind of reminds me of an F1. Oh, interesting. I think Nixies would have been perfect. Take off the high pitch, like from the upstroke. Some people don't like Nixies because of the opposite, or rather for the opposite reason. Like taking out the upstroke kind of makes it sound like a little bit more dead to them. But I mean, everyone's a little bit different on how they feel about Nixies versus regular MX blocks. Alright, so here is the scale. Let's weigh it. So all built with keycaps and the brass mid is 7 pounds and 13.4 ounces. For, you know, non-freedom units, that's 3.5 kilos, 3.554 kilograms. Very heavy. So this is quite heavy. Almost 8-pound board, right? Now let's go ahead and switch out the mid piece for the other one. My Nixies have a kind of dead bottom out for some reason. Do you maybe over lube the stem or maybe the housing even? Perhaps. But I mean, versus MX2A, that they will sound different, I think, or regular switches, regular MX blocks. That's a, yeah, I think most people comment about the upstroke because of the milky top, the clear top. Okay. Carefully unplug this guy here. Let's try to not bend these. Socket these. Alright, now let's remove the mid piece. Swap it with the alu one. Okay. So there's the teal alu mid. I think the gaskets are already there, so good. I'll just carefully slot it in. Boom. Much lighter compared to the brass. Oops. Screwdriver. Okay. And one more time. Have to attach the DB cable. It's a little hard for me to do at this angle. I prefer to move this over. Do this right here. Plugged in. Okay, make sure everything's in place. And now line our top piece together. Sure they line up. Okay. Kind of wish they offered a silver mid piece. Yeah, I could see silver being a very attractive option for this. Silver, or even like if it's sandblasted stainless steel, right? That would be also pretty attractive. That said, that would be pretty expensive for sure. Okay, just keep in mind I didn't do my best job lining up the mid and the top and bottom pieces as well. So if it looks slightly misaligned, that's why. I thought they would offer the SS just like the 160. Yeah, I guess they maybe had to compromise on it because they're already offering the brass. Because what else is there for mid? Where's my cursor? Brass, aluminum, copper. Oh, that's why they're offering copper. I see. So I think if they hadn't offered copper, they would have gone stainless steel. Yeah. I actually kind of, I think if it had been me, stainless steel and one of either brass or copper would have been fine, but I think copper has seen a pretty big popularity in the community, so I can kind of understand that, you know? I imagine the SS didn't do well in the 160. That's also totally plausible, yeah, of an explanation. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this out. So I'll go ahead and pause that. And I think the SS was also polished. I would rather much have it blasted. Thank you. I agree. I personally am a huge proponent of either brushed or sandblasted stainless steel over polished. I personally don't really love polished. It looks nice in pictures, but that's about it. It's just such a fingerprint magnet. Same goes for PVD brass, PVD copper, like that kind of stuff, right? Or PVD steel, whatever it is. It just kind of just very, yeah. Mike did a stream and was like, if you ask for it, please buy the stainless steel. So yeah, they probably didn't do well. Had to hit MOQ and then probably were like, okay, for the 1800, we're not doing that. Because that's the thing. A lot of people ask for things, but don't buy the things. So, yeah. It's a vote with your wallet type of situation. All right, folks. Let's try this out. This time we have the same exact build with a teal aluminum mid. Obviously, you can't really see it on the sides, but I'll show it off how it looks later on. All right. Let's try it out. All alu build. Hello, Kim. Hello, wanna play Overwatch 2? Yeah, we could. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's very different? I couldn't. It's harder for me to tell the difference actually. I could feel like maybe it's a little bit cleaner, but I'm actually not sure. In terms of like a bit, I don't think it's like super different. Yeah, I think it was like slightly different, but not like. Oh, one's like high pitch, one's low pitch, one's like, you know, I didn't sense that kind of wild difference between alu and brass. That said, when I lift the board, there's a very obvious weight difference, that's for sure. It's pretty hard to put my finger on it. The difference is not that apparent. So if you have a preference for the material, or the heft of the board rather, by all means copper brass is your thing. But if you're really concerned about it's gonna make a huge difference on a build, it might depend on the switches and plate too. So just big grain of salt. It's pretty subtle. There is a difference, I think. It's like a tonality thing almost. I just can't put my finger on it exactly what it is. It could be analyzed and, you know, figured out, but I can't really like say something straightforward about it. Yeah. That's it. If you go full alu, you're not losing out on anything. That's for sure. One thing I'll say for sure is alu does look nice, and I personally think your board doesn't need to be extremely heavy, and you're saving money. So you're not losing out on anything with regards to the sound and feel of the board, because you didn't go with a brass or copper mid if you're purchasing it. Okay, so just so you know. Great stream, was nice chatting. Yeah, bear on K, or I'm not sure what the hell you say your username, or anyway, it was nice chatting with you. All right, let me go through the mods now. Aaron, okay. Oh, it is Aaron. B Aaron K. Oh, there you go. B Aaron K. All right, let's go through it. So there it is. All alu setup. Yeah, frankly, compared to the brass, not a huge difference. I think it's because it's also gasket mount, you know? Like, the gaskets are really doing all the work here. It's the same gaskets on both, you know. Like it doesn't look like the sound reverb, the way it's bouncing in the board or whatever, the way it's being absorbed and reflected. It doesn't seem like it's affecting this much, you know, between the two materials. It's very subtle. So whether you choose alu or brass, I think you're gonna be fine. Yeah, some good combos out there. People have talked about silver and red. It's a good, like, the contemporary Keycult combo, contemporary red. There's also black and red. Go for a red. The black and red combo is also like a nice, like, more edgy looking but pretty cool combo. Kind of classic too. The OG black and teal, that works too. I mean, this, honestly, this navy and teal also looks pretty sweet in my opinion. This navy and teal reminds me of the very first #1 release, when it was still done on Geek Hack. It was just a bunch of Geek Hack people choosing colors, and this, like, navy and teal is like that kind of like OG kind of combo. Very nice, very cool. GMK Hammerhead on this, yeah, would look really nice. I mean, obviously I had Rudy because of the brass mid, but Hammerhead on this, or Calm Depths on this, various sets, a few different sets that have like a variety of blue colors would look really good. But this combo actually looks pretty nice. I would personally vouch for it. I also really happen to like blue toned stuff, so I'm a little biased in that regard, but I think it looks pretty sweet. So yeah, but here it is. Navy and teal, a little dusty. So it's a good combo. It's a good combo. Kind of fun combo. All right. So I did weigh it earlier, so I want to show you guys the actual weight difference between the two. So I believe the weight of the all brass mid was, with the build, was 7 pounds and 13 ounces, something like that. So this time with the all alu, we got 5 pounds exactly-ish. 5 pounds and 0.1 ounces. So 2.27 kilos. That's basically like a 3 kilo difference, or rather, what was that, like 2.5? Yeah, it's like almost, it's a pretty significant difference. So 2 pounds and 13 ounce difference, right? So that's a pretty big difference. So yeah, 2.27. I think the other one was like 5 point something, right? So yeah, 2-3 kilo difference. So pretty big difference in weight. I mean, it makes sense because this mid piece is significantly heavy, like 1.87 kilos just from this mid piece alone. So, you know, 4 pound mid piece, like the rest of the board is like 3 pounds, right? So it's very, very heavy. So yeah. So yeah, this is 5 pounds. So still a good heft though for a board of this layout. So if you're not really looking for the heft, I would say all alu is a totally fine option. So yeah. So that's sort of the bottom line of this board, the Keycult 1800. The fact that it's a 3-piece case helps a good bit with the all aluminum build. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's still some heft there compared to an all aluminum 2-piece case. Yeah, you paid how much for an all alu board? Yeah, there's those comments for sure. I mean, even the all alu configurator, let me see if I switch that to an all alu, you know, teal or whatever, it comes out to $500 basically. So it's definitely not, you know, it's not cheap. So but that's it for, you know, 1800 boards. Not super common. I would say there's definitely been more popularity with 1800s and full size, But it's a, you know, if you've been waiting for this particular design with the 1800 layout, you know, here it is. Frankly, compared to the TKL runs that have been done for Keycult stuff, it's not a bad price. But that said, it is a very hefty price compared to a lot of the like budget-friendly options out there that now exist. So, you know, if you care about the design and the look and all that, and you are okay with the price, then, you know, go ahead. But I think it's a nice board nonetheless. I think it types nicely. I think it sounds pretty good. I honestly have no qualms with board design or board like feel. I frankly was a little bit more pleased about the way it feels. I think the larger layout with the gasket mount here and the alu flex cut plate, actually they play well with each other. They give the board a nice way of like typing softly while it's still having that alu plate characteristic. So I think it's pretty nice. Yeah, it's a nice board. Frankly, I can't really say bad things about it. You know, price is a price thing. You know, you'll have to decide that, you know, for yourself, whether that is worth for you if you're planning on purchasing. But yeah, if you really like the design, you know, I think they executed it very well. So, it looks good. It looks good. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, for the money, the arguments to be made for the money there's so many. There's many arguments you can make for that. But yeah, that's the Keycult one 1800. Looking quite nice here with GMK Rudy. Goes really nicely with this navy piece. So yeah. Okay. Feels bad for joining a GB 2025. That's fair. Last time I joined the GB was a derivative R1. Oh, that's a good board. The derivative was one of those boards that I kind of wish I had, but I've enjoyed building a few, so I like the derivative. I like JGW boards a lot, just in general. All right, so let us okay. Moment over derivative IMO. Oh really? Oh really? I personally like I like the aesthetic of the derivative more than the moments, but I actually don't know about the typing feel and typing sound and whatnot. I haven't had both like next to each other to know, but I like the derivative a lot. You know, I'm more into like the classic design, so definitely leans more into that like clean classic aesthetic. So I think that's why I like the derivative a little bit more. What do you think about the Daji Seisero? I think it's a great board. It's a tap hole mount. You can do PCB only, like plateless if you want. You can do it with plate as well. But it's a board that types and looks pretty nicely. I personally think it's a great board. I think the Daji boards are pretty good too. You know, solid option. That said, if you're purchasing aftermarket and it costs you a lot, you know, there are other options out there that are probably pretty good too. So, you know, don't pit yourself into having to purchase something aftermarket for a high price if you can afford to. Yeah. I like both, but the color choice is nicer on derivative. Yeah, that's true. The derivative did introduce some nice colors. Yeah. Yeah. That's totally agreeable. But anyway, Navy 1800. I think it turned out pretty nice. Moment is a pain in the butt to build with the weight on DB. Fair. A few like quality of life things maybe. Alright. Let's any GBs I'm waiting for? I just have like some sets that I think are coming in later. Like Prussian Blue, I think is one of them. And Verdant Retro, but I have that on hold because I'm like moving. Yeah. That's the main stuff. No boards. because also I haven't been purchasing boards. Oh, I got the GMK Black Snail Silver Lake alphas, but that was because I was splitting it with another person. I didn't want the WOB ones, I just wanted the beige ones, so I split that up with a community friend of mine. But yeah, that's about it. All right. He has escaped the addiction. I mean, I still get like artisans and stuff, so it's not it's not any better. It's probably it's definitely worse. It's the worst thing to be into. It's the money pit, and yeah. So if people ask me like, oh, what do you think about getting artisans? I'm like, run if you can. Like, don't get them if you don't like them that much. I like the artwork stuff, so that's why I'm into it. But if you don't like it enough, don't do it. Why would you do that to yourself? It's a trap. It's a trap. No, it's not less. It's not less. It's more frequent. They're smaller. You're like, oh, they don't take space. Oh, it's just this for that? Okay, I can do it a few times. And a few times turns into more than a few times. And more than a few times turns into more than I expected. Or more than you can afford. That would be bad. You should never do that. But don't do that, okay? Like it's like if you're the kind of person who is getting that, you know, dopamine serotonin dose from getting those mail days, whether it's artisans or keyboards, you know, rethink what you're doing. Consider different options, but you know, like also consider like your financial circumstance, all that, you know. But just to know, it can be bad. It piles up fast, very fast. So just so you know. But yeah, some people are more compulsive about it. Like Rob says, you have a box and you're like, oh, I'm gonna fill it out. I mean, some people do feel strongly about that. So it's like, oh, when I fill it, I'm gonna be done. And then they're like, oh shoot, I have one over or a few over. I need to get a second smaller box. And then you're like, oh, I need to fill out the new box. When I fill out the new box, I'll be done. I'll be done when I fill out the new box. And then the same thing happens. Or then you're like, trim out and you're like, oh, it's not full yet. I keep trimming. Every time I buy one, I trade away or give away a few or whatever. So I always have a deficit. And then you're continuously doing this, and yeah, not good. If you can't control it. So just keep that in mind. All right, folks. I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I hope you guys had a good time. Let me see if there's anybody to rate at the moment. There's the ducks. I don't think anybody keyboard related is doing anything, right? Yeah, I don't see anybody. We could see the ducks. Spaceballs. If you know Spaceballs, the username, they do like food and drink stuff. It looks like it's their dog's birthday, so we could go shoot a raid over there and just throw some support for their, you know, the good boy or girl, not sure, but yeah. All right, folks. Let us raid over there. Spaceballs, the username. Okay. Let's go celebrate their dog's birthday. They're making food for them, I think. All right. I hope you guys had a good time. But thank you again for stopping by. I'll probably see you guys at the new place. So sometime in July. My move doesn't happen until after like the first week. So I won't be streaming for a little bit. So I probably won't see you for a couple of weeks. So I'll see you guys then. Hopefully I'll have it set up sooner than later, but we'll see. I'll see you guys later though. Okay, take it easy. Have a good July 4th for those who are celebrating in the US. And if you have some time off, I hope you enjoy the time off. You know, relax a bit. And you know, if you are not celebrating that, but you're otherwise having any other cool plans for vacation or otherwise, you know, enjoy yourself. And if you're drowning at work and stuff like that, you know, also take it easy. It's just work. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. But and thank you as always for the support. All right, take it easy. Bye.